I'm in a city consistently ranked among the safest in Europe, Warsaw, Poland. But today I'm going to go somewhere that's the complete opposite. I'm about to get a 5-hour train journey to a place that has a reputation for street scams. Join me as I travel to Berlin, Germany. Let's hurry up because I'm late for my train. So first impression of this train, that it's really smooth. It's like a bullet train. I've got 5 hours left till I get to Berlin. I've got quite a nice view, a window seat. So Berlin's crime stats are eye-opening. In a single year, they had 482,000 reported crimes. And in the same year, that there were only 49,000 reported in Warsaw. Even though Warsaw is a lot smaller, if you adjust for the population, that's roughly 5 to 10 times more in Berlin than in Warsaw. I've seen a lot of videos about scammers in like touristy areas in Berlin. So I'm going to go to those kinds of areas and just observe what's going on. I'm not looking for any confrontations. I just want to see how they're operating and how many people are doing it and what's really going on. Because there's like quite a lot of videos, but it might be exaggerated. So I'm going to go there, see it for myself, and I'm curious to see what I will encounter. Okay, I found the restaurant car and it's pretty organised. It's like a real restaurant and they've got a short order cook and everything. So I'm going to enjoy that. I'm about halfway through and I forgot to say that this journey from Warsaw to Berlin cost me 30 euros only. So I ordered a breakfast with bacon, frankfurters and a cappuccino and it came to £10. It's like 4:30. I'm going to find my way to Unfortunately, it's wrong now. The hotel is 20 minutes by metro. I just got to the hotel. I was going to get the metro, but then I just decided to get the Uber. Here's my room. Oh. So I'm staying at the Premier Inn in Charlottenburg, which is supposed to be like a residential area. Okay, here we are. This is the view from the window. Oh, it's got a proper hairdryer. Great. This is the room. Oh, this is pretty good for Premier Inn. I believe it was around 60 euros a night. That's the other view. Yeah, very nice. Walk-in shower. Great. Okay, so I'm gonna see you on the flip side. I'll see you at one of these touristy spots.
The next day.
Okay, I'm here at the Brandenburg Gate, which is Berlin's most iconic landmark. So it was built between 1788 and 1791 as a city gate for Berlin, and it originally symbolised peace. This gate stood just inside East Berlin during the Cold War. So during the Cold War, it was inaccessible to both East Berlin and West Berlin. So it became a symbol of the division. When the wall fell in 1989, this was a place that everybody came to celebrate the reunification. So on top of the gate is the quadriga, which is a chariot drawn by 4 horses, and it's being driven by Victoria, the goddess of victory. And apparently Napoleon once took the quadriga to Paris in 1806 after defeating Prussia, and it was returned in 1814. So it basically became a symbol of the division, but when they were reunified, it was where everyone came to celebrate. And supposedly now it's a hub for scammers and pickpockets. But I don't see many people today. I do see one lady selling roses to people. But I guess that's not a scam, you're just selling a rose. If you want to buy it or not, then you buy it. So all of the videos that I've seen online are showing that there's so many scammers here and it's so bad, and I think it might be a bit exaggerated because I don't see anybody here apart from a few tourists. There's a lot of tourists coming here to take pictures obviously throughout the day, but there's not that many people, and I've literally only seen one woman selling roses, which is not a scam. And also see a lot of police presence. You've got the Embassy of the United States of America there. Kapinski Hotel was over there. Just a very nice, normal place. There's no homeless people, there's no beggars. Not a single person has come up to me all day. So, yeah, I don't see what's so bad about Berlin. I don't really like the metro though, I think it's a bit dirty. But apart from that. So now I'm going to head to Alexanderplatz, which is where that TV tower is, and see if there's any action over there. Well, I'm actually glad that there's no scammers and thieves here, because I haven't been robbed or attacked, so that's great. Or scammed. They have a warning here, look after your valuables. There's a suspicious guy there looking in the trash, so I better stay away. Okay, I'm in Alexanderplatz, so this is one of the most famous squares in Berlin. You can see the TV tower over there. So when that was built, it was Europe's tallest building. That was built in 1969. And apparently it's got 360-degree panoramic views of the city. But that's not what I was looking for today. Today I was looking for scammers, seeing if there's any scammers in Berlin, but I don't see any. I see a lot of police presence, which is reassuring, I like that. There's a police box over there. I don't see anybody with this fake petitions or fake charity scammers. No one's approached me asking for money. Although on the metro, there were quite a lot of people getting on at different stops and asking for money. But I think those were just homeless and they weren't actually scammers. I'm just going to walk around and see if there's anything suspicious, anybody asking anyone for money or trying to scam anyone or anything like that. So far, I don't see anything. All I see is a lot of police and not that many people. It is currently -3 degrees and obviously snowing. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. Yeah, this is quite empty and it doesn't seem like there's many tourists. There's some tourists over there near the clock. I was expecting it to be a lot busier, like, you know how you have Trafalgar Square and then Times Square in New York, busy squares in different cities, and there's just no one around. So yeah, I was expecting something else. There's one guy holding a Jesus sign, but apart from that, there's not much action around here. There's no street performer or anything. So I've seen 0 scammers here, so this video is becoming a nightmare. But basically I came to see if what I saw online is true or if it's exaggerated. And as far as this square is concerned, there's not a single scammer here that I can see. Just a lot of police, and it seems very safe. So the opposite of what I expected. In the metro it was more scary. So for the train, I got like a 24-hour ticket that's like €11, and you just validate it and can use trams, buses and the underground for 24 hours as much as you like. But there's no barriers or like anywhere to put your ticket like in other countries. So I'm sure a lot of people are just getting on and not buying a ticket, because you could easily do that. Nobody checked my ticket once, but I heard that there are inspectors. And they said that also there are fake ticket inspectors that come up to you and they're very imposing. And they say, your ticket is invalid. And then they ask you for an on-the-spot fine of like between 40 to 60 euros. So I definitely watch out for that. If anyone asks me to pay a fine, I'm just not going to pay it. Because you never know who that person is. So all of the police here are heavily armed. I mean, they're all armed, which is something that I don't see in England. I think it would be better if like all of the police in England were armed, like they are in here and in Spain and other countries. It's just a bit more secure. So yeah, like I said, there's no barriers to get in or out of the metro, so you could just hop on and off, and that's why there were so many people asking for money. They were just getting on one stop, getting off the next. You can sometimes see that in London, but they're taking more of a risk because they have to get in somehow, and they're not paying. So when I used to go to work, or when I used to use the underground, sometimes I would tap in and then someone would be this close behind me and come in with me. They're like, oh, I just paid for you. But that happens sometimes. It's only happened to me a couple of times, but I guess that's how they're getting in. Shovelly shovel. So I've come to the East Side Gallery. So this is one of Berlin's most famous landmarks, and you can see there's quite a few tourists here. So this mural that everyone's gathered around is the famous mural, and it's called the Kissing Leaders mural. It depicts Soviet leader Brezhnev and East German leader Honecker. After the wall fell in 1989, artists from all over the world came and painted different murals on the wall. This is actually a 1.3 kilometers stretch of the Berlin Wall. So in this particular area, there are no scammers. There's nobody here, it's only tourists. Okay, I'm going back to the metro. Let's go to the next place. So this is an old picture of the wall. It was taken in 1976 and it shows people from West Berlin crossing the bridge to enter East Berlin. And then here you can see like this was the wall here, East Berlin, and then there's all barbed wire and patrol, and then there's another wall here and then the river. But there was a patrol road where border guards patrolled, watchtowers every 600 meters. There was a boundary fence, signal was triggered on contact. Then there was an inner wall, 3.6 meters high. This is the area where there used to be patrol guards and watchtowers, barbed wire, and then this is the other inner wall was here, and then the river, and then after the river was the west side. So on this monument it says, a few weeks after the wall fell in November 1989, West Berliner David Monti and East Berliner Heike Stefan announced their idea to turn the Berlin Wall into the longest gallery in the world. So the east side gallery actually starts just up here, so this is like one end of it. And then it just extends all the way down where I just was, 1.3 kilometers. So hundreds of murals. So this is the beginning, East Side Gallery. So there were quite a few people there, a lot of tourists going around. So I was surprised that there was no scammers or people selling anything. I don't know, maybe it's the weather, I don't know. But there was nobody there. So let's go on to the next place. Look at this bridge over here. Somebody took inspiration from the wall mural that I've just seen. Curry 61. I've seen that around, I think it's like a sausage with curry.
Einsteigen bitte. Zurückbleiben bitte.
Okay, I'm outside the Reichstag, which is the seat of the German Parliament. As you can see, there's not many people around here. It was built in 1894 and it has witnessed every major chapter of German history: imperial rule, the Nazi era, wartime destruction, Cold War division and reunification. After Germany reunited, the building was redesigned with a glass dome, which symbolises transparency and accountability. You can actually see the dome right there. You can visit it, it's free to visit, and from the dome you can look inside and view the parliament, but you need to register in advance online, which I did not do. So, but yeah, as you can see, and it's just a bit of snow. I don't know why there's nobody here. I just come from London, there's like millions and millions of tourists and there's like nobody here. Needless to say, no scammers here. So an interesting twist, so this building was set on fire in 1933. It was known as the Reichstag fire. So after this fire, the Nazis accused international communists, including Bulgarian Georgy Dimitrov, of organising the arson. Dimitrov was arrested and put on trial, and he actually defended himself in German instead of using a lawyer. He was eventually acquitted due to insufficient evidence, and he even served as the Prime Minister of Bulgaria between 1946 and 1949. So he was remembered as one of the few people to publicly defy the Nazi regime and win in their own court. Alright, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I couldn't find any scammers in Berlin as much as I wanted to find them, but I hope you enjoyed the video nonetheless. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my other videos. I've got lots of videos in different places around the world. Check them out on my channel page, and I'll see you in the next one.